guys, and welcome to Knight of the Black Waters coverage of the latest chapter pack, True Steel. I am Ben, and today I'm joined by Ryan Wood.
Hello.
Hi Ryan, thanks for coming on.
That's all right. Welcome. I'm glad to be here.
For anyone who doesn't know, because just do you want to give a little bit of background about you with Game of Thrones? Because you've been playing since first edition.
Yeah, so I'm a bit of a first ed vet. Been playing the game probably 3-4 years now. Got into first edition quite near the end of its life, I guess, when the naval cycle was starting. Picked it up as a sort of just as a board game really at university to play with my housemates, and then I ended up moving to America for my final year of my degree, and got into the game, into the competitive scene out there really. Being up every week playing with some of the Boston crew, so the Fitches, if you know them. And yeah, it was good. They basically taught me how to play the game properly, and I've been going to as many tournaments as I can since. So.
And you tend to do fairly well.
Yeah, not bad. I've won 6 tournaments for second ed so far, so doing all right.
So Ryan's going to give us the actual good advice on the cards. I'm just going to kind of, try and do what I can. As you guys know, I'm newer, but I like to think I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you're a solid player.
Oh, thank you. So, last chapter pack of the Westeros cycle.
Yep, 6th pack.
I can't believe it's with us already. It doesn't feel like yesterday I was getting Nymeria Sand and feeling very happy.
Yeah, it's half a cycle ago now.
and I mean, from someone who's quite new, is this quite new with the cycle to be this fast? Was this normal?
Yeah, it was definitely slower paced release schedule back in first ed. And from the looks of it, we're going to get the first pack in the second cycle quite soon as well.
Yeah. Cool.
And normally we had like a 2-3 month gap in between, but from what I could tell, it seems to be shipping already. So,
do you reckon that's partly because to kind of catch up because you have the existing player base that is used to a big pool? Let's just get a lot of cards.
Yeah,
out.
I think the first 2 will be sped up a bit, and the first 2 deluxes. So I expect we get an announcement quite soon for the second deluxe as well, just to try and get the card pool to a reasonable size.
Which we believe is Lannister? Honestly?
Yeah, rumours out of Italy are that it's Lannister. So
because they need the cards.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They practically suck at the moment. I don't know.
So the good thing if it is Lannister is right now they build themselves because every single card is good, so you just throw all the cards in. So hopefully the Lannister box will just be a spread of completely different themes, like Clansman, so that they can actually build some different decks rather than just good stuff.
Yeah. If they build this good deck, build Clansman.
Build something original like Clansman, yeah.
Well, let's hope, because, I'd say, I mean, it's a good deck, I understand why people play it, but it could do with some spicing up, and obviously they get a pretty good card in this set as well.
Well, when don't they get a good card, I mean?
Yeah, true. So,
Crossroads Sellsword, I think, is possibly the weakest card they've got since the core.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad. And that's only
it's not terrible. It's just not good.
If you could kill at any point and get the gold, it'd be good.
Oh yeah, if it was any phase, it'd be amazing. Like when Valor comes back out and you can kill all of your sellswords in play, all 3 of them, and gain 6 gold, it would be amazing.
Or the turn you someone wildfires and you go, cool,
get
6 gold out of it. Yeah. Yeah. It's still, you say, pretty. That's their worst card, really.
Yeah, not doing too bad, are they?
No. So, do you want to start with the first start card?
Sure.
I mean, because I'm not trying to pronounce her name.
So, first up, we have Septa Mordain, who, if you remember, is Arya and Sansa's Septa, who teaches her about the 7. So, her ability actually affects those 2. So, first of all, she's a free cost, free strength, and intrigue icon only start character. Non-loyal, with the 7 trait. And her text box says, while you control Sansa Stark, she gets +2 strength and renown. And Arya Stark, she gains an intrigue icon and immune to opponent's plot effects. So, like Maester Luwin, she's giving the abilities to those characters. She's not gaining those abilities herself, which is what some confusion happened originally with Maester Luwin's text box. So,
really?
Yeah, a lot of people thought that Maester Luwin became some beast with pillage and insight and immune to plots and stealth, but no. He is helping everyone else out. He's helping the kids out. He is not becoming a beast by them being around. And it's the same for the Scepter. And because obviously there's only 2 Stark girls and 4 boys, she's actually giving all the girls 2 abilities compared to the one that each of the 4 boys were getting.
Yep.
I think she's a pretty solid card, to be honest. Obviously Stark are lacking in intrigue icons, so for starters, that helps.
Yeah.
Even being Monocon, Monocon intrigue, would probably be a one-of in Stark. And every Stark deck has Sansa and Arya in it.
Yeah.
And obviously we've got 2 different versions of Sansa and Arya now. So it makes the one, well, really people are only playing the original Arya, I think, still.
Yeah.
Nobody's playing the sacrifice one just yet. So her gaining an intrigue icon and immune to plots is really good, especially for first snow.
Yep.
Because having her with a dupe around for the first snow turn is quite handy. So you don't lose one of your big 5-6 costers.
More than anything, also giving Stark a stealthing intrigue icon is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, they've got 2 characters of stealth right now. They've got Arya and the Wolves of the North.
Yes.
So yeah, having some stealth and intrigue would be really handy, because that is their weakest challenge. And Sansa does pretty well out of it as well, because you've got the original core one, the sort of power Sansa, who her gaining renown as well as standing and giving you power really helps the rush decks.
Yep, so that's 2 power a turn.
Yep.
Just turning up.
Exactly. Not bad at all. And then you've got the newer Sansa, the loyal one, who is already incredibly efficient at 2 cost and 4 strength. And now she's 2 cost, 6 strength and renown, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I think this is, because you're taking those 2 characters, this has got to at least be a one-off.
Oh yeah. I don't think it's any more than the one-off.
No.
But it is a solid one-off in probably most start decks.
I guess there might be an argument for 2-of, but probably 1-of, and just when you get them out, Sansa and Arya, you say you're going to have, are just going to be that much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's exactly like Mr. Lewin. She's going to be a one-of in any Stark deck that's running the children, which is all of them. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having some thoughts because I've been messing around with, as I've told you, with a Stark and Tyrell Knights deck.
Yeah.
You need the ladies for that, so yeah, should be going in there so that Arya and Sansa aren't just there to be Lady Sansa's Rose triggers. They're kicking ass.
Exactly, yeah. Giving Sansa renown as well helps towards your rush game.
Exactly. So yeah. No, I think there's... I don't know if there's really much more to say. She is just...
Well, there's a few more little details, like with Sansa gaining renown, and say, for example, your rush deck you were talking about with your knights. So you've got your plot where all your knights gain renown. Sansa also now has renown. And you can potentially use Lady to have her in 2 challenges. So you're getting an extra 2 renown there.
Good, yeah.
Because obviously Lady will stand her, so...
Yep. I hadn't thought about that. That's actually... And then obviously you're also getting your power for her renown for her standing. Sorry, no, power for her standing immediately, not until it's the end.
Exactly, yeah. Trigger it during the challenges, and potentially she can gain you free power in that one challenge phase, which is pretty nice.
So yeah. I think to say she is. I mean, if it wasn't for the other card, she probably would be she would be the best card. You can tell Stark have a good pack when she's probably not as good as the second card they're getting.
Oh no, obviously not. We'll get to that one in a minute, but
yeah,
yes, she is definitely the weaker of the 2 cards, but she's still very good.
Which says something. But yeah, I think she just ticks at the moment all the boxes. I've been watching a lot of Stark games, trying to get some inspiration for combos, and they're all so intrigue light.
Yes.
So she gives you 2 more intrigue icons, effectively.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Caitlyn, Sansa, and Osha with intrigue icons that see regular play. Yeah. I think that's it.
Pretty much. Yeah, and then otherwise you're having to get some of the neutrals in. Yeah. Like the House Maester. Does Maester low in power only? Was he got?
Oh no, Maester Lewin also has a intrigue icon. He's 2 strength, intrigue power.
But the problem is you got so few. A lot of those cards are they're all unique, which is the main issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they have a single non-unique with an intrigue.
No.
Mainly military monocons. All their wolves.
So, anything else you want to add before we move on? Or are we just saying...
No, I think she's a solid one-of in pretty much most start decks going forward. At least for a while anyway, until they get better intrigue icon options.
Next one we got is Ward, a 4-cost Stark attachment, which is a condition. Character with printer cost 4 or lower only. It's terminal, and basically you take control of the attached character, and they become a Stark character. Yeah.
So this is very similar to two cards that existed back in first edition. One of them was around for a while and people were fine with it, and then the second one came out and it got restricted quite soon after it was released. So that was Enslaved, which was pretty much exactly the same as this, but it was 2 costs and it took control of a cost 2 character. And there was Melisandre's Favour, which was 3 cost, but took control of any character, but only for the round.
Oh, okay.
So during dominance, you would discard the attachment and it would revert back. So this sort of falls somewhere in the middle of those two in terms of power.
Yep.
Because obviously you can't steal anyone, so you can't just steal their Balon with 7 power and win the game.
Yeah.
Which is what happened fairly often in First Ed. You'd have these Voltron decks with a lot of power stacked on them, and Melisandre's Favour, boop, I steal and gain 8 power in marshalling. Excellent. This can't really happen with Ward so far, except on a couple of characters, because there's very few with Renown or any power granting abilities that cost 4 or lower. I mean, the main culprits, they're the main ones are Theon and Gendry.
Yeah. The thing that I wouldn't say worry about this, because it's only obviously one house, but it does put you now in this kind of catch that you're building your deck where you've got to think anything strength 3 or cost 3 or lower, going to get first node.
Yep.
Now anything cost 4 can get warded.
Oh yeah, and it's especially bad on a first node turn. Because if you've got your 4 cost characters protecting your 6 cost character, those two are the only ones left, and then they ward your Theon, for example, then they can just happily kill your Balon.
And then probably being Stark, sacrifice him quickly.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Just use Jon Snow to sacrifice him because he's now a Stark character. Trigger Caitlyn, gains of power.
Trigger Rob, everyone stands up.
Yeah, trigger Rob. Or even if you hold on to it until the plot phase, then you discard it with Fallen from Favour or March to the Wall.
Oh.
Because I think a likely follow-up to you playing this is them playing Confiscation, right?
Yes. Or another way of trying to get rid of the attachment, yeah.
Yeah. So if you flip March, then you trigger that first. They lose their character and another character on their side.
Yeah.
Before they get to Confiscate Ward. Or you play Fallen from Favour and gain some gold from it. 7 gold, 7 initiative. It's a lot of funny things you can do.
Yeah, this is pretty. This is pretty brutal. I'm just trying to think of what good 4 cost characters there are. Obviously, you've also got was it Lord of Onions?
Sir Davos.
Yeah.
Yep.
He'd be a good one to nick over.
He would be good, although if you were to kill him, he would go back to the owner's hand. So
at least keeps the stealth off the other side.
Yep, keeps stealth off the other side. There's Cersei. Not bad to take Cersei.
Someone also else, I remember listening, I think I can't remember what it was, but someone said you could nick another Stark player's Catelyn before playing your own.
Yep.
Yeah, this. I
mean, even if you think of the 3 costers as well, not just the 4 costers, like stealing a Marjorie can be really good.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about stealing Marjorie Tyrell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this card's bonkers good. Well, it's not bonkers good. It's but in Stark, because it makes them a Stark, it's really good, and there's so many combos they can pull off from that.
Yeah. I think it would be bonkers if it was like a Lannister Loyal card, for example. Because it being a 4 cost card, well, a 4 cost attachment as well, in Stark, it's quite expensive to play, because they're already playing Winterfell for a 4 cost non-character.
Yeah.
So they're chucking in a few wards as well. It's quite pricey.
But you thinking 2 of these in a deck, or you just go the 1?
I think 2 of for now. I think the meta will obviously adjust to it. There'll be a lot more attachment control, because obviously it's a condition as well. So Maester Crescent can quite easily get rid of it, as well as the neutral attachment hate. But I don't think it will be as bad as people think it will be. It's not going to be as prevalent.
Because my first thought with, because I was more thinking about my Greyjoy, because obviously mainly using Martell, Greyjoy, and Targaryen at the moment.
Yeah.
Martell, most of 4 costers I'm not that worried about losing.
I think all their 4 costers are armies with no attachments, right?
Pretty much. So yeah, and the only real one is obviously Maester Calliope.
Yeah.
That's probably about the only one you're really stealing, and that's not the end of the world. Or Hotor, actually. Hotor could be a pain.
Yeah, but that means he'd already be in play and just be a monocon military icon. It's not too,
it's probably
too painful.
So they're not that worried. Targaryen, I said most of their 4 costers aren't that big a deal. I think
they've got the Unsullied who are no attachments.
Yeah, they've got
one. They did gain Jogo this pack.
Yeah. So, but he's probably only one of anyway. So
he's gonna. I think that's gonna be the main impact of the card, really. All the people who are running 4-cost unique characters like Cersei in multiple copies, they're gonna go down to 1 copy.
Yes. Oh yes, Cersei's gonna be a massive one for Stark still. But Greyjoy, they're kind of the one I think of all my decks. They're probably the one that's going to suffer the most. And annoyingly, because it's probably Theon you're going to steal, I can't stealth from him to use We Do Not Sow. So I'm probably going to have to waste Balon just to try and get an unopposed challenge off. To get
the best bit about that, though, is how Theon is the person who gets impacted the most by this, and he is the Stark ward.
Yes.
So it's very thematic.
It does make sense. In fact, he's even on the card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it does make sense. Do you reckon this is the way they're not actually going to do Theon for Stark Theon? Because I know they did do a Stark Theon.
Oh, I expect there will be a Stark Theon at some point. It could be a long way off, considering he's only really Stark in the first book, and we've done the cycle based on the first book.
Well, I guess he is Stark at the beginning of the second book, isn't he? I know he's in the series.
Yeah, he's meant to be travelling over to visit Balon and recruit for Robb.
Oh, in between the books, is he? Or
at the beginning of the second book, yeah, he's gone over to.
Okay.
So he could potentially have a Stark one, but it seems unlikely.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is their way around doing him.
Yeah.
You can have him. When you're playing against him, just steal him.
It's a nice way of doing it. So
yeah, and it's a nice mechanic. But yeah, this card is really good. It's what's it, Crown of Gold good, except it's not 1 per deck.
It's not quite as good as Crown of Gold, I'd say.
Because it's Stark, they can then sacrifice him, and you steal him. So Crown of Gold, you spend that. You do kill someone, but
I think sacrifice is only discard.
I get. I just think because you are Crown of Gold, you just kill someone, and that's good. You know, oh look, your Tyrion is dead. Brilliant.
Yeah, which again is hitting a 5-coster.
I suppose that is that. You are hitting a 5-cost. Oh, God, I just realised what's it in this cycle. Sand. She's only 3 strength. Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. Tyene is coming up. She's only 3 strength.
But this one, you're not just killing that character, you then bring them on your side. So you get that double swing of, I've effectively killed your character because you can't use them until they're no longer on my side. And I've gained a character out of this. That's just the way I was thinking it might be. I can see what you're saying. It might not be quite as good Crown of Gold because there's more characters Crown of Gold can affect, like the Blackfish, which this can't even think about going near.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key difference, isn't it? That Crown of Gold can hit some of the more expensive characters, whereas this can't really.
But yeah, otherwise I'd say it's bloody brilliant.
One of the best Stark cards this cycle, probably.
Yeah, if you're playing Stark, you need to find 3 card spots because you need 2 wards and 1 of the First Lady. Yeah,
seems reasonable.
Yeah.
So I reckon there'll be a lot of, not a lot, but there'll be some nice janky sacrifice decks themed around the new Caitlyn, using 3 of these and 3 of the new Robb, so you can sacrifice the stolen character if need be. I can. That'll be good fun.
Which speaking, so I really want to get new Caitlyn to work now.
Yeah, well, the problem is you don't want to. If you keep sacrificing all your stuff, your board ends up being destroyed very quickly. So if you're sacrificing your opponent's board,
Yeah.
and then possibly triggering the Windsfell Crypt as well to get rid of more of their board, then it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Okay. So should we move on to Tyrell?
Yeah, poor old Tyrell. Neither of their cards are bad. It's just they're not as exciting as the rest.
No.
So first up, we have Butterbumps, who's very similar to a card we've seen out of Baratheon earlier on this cycle.
Yeah.
So Butterbumps is House Tyrell, Intrigue Icon only, 2 cost and 2 strength. He is loyal, and he has the Fool trait. He has Insight and the Forced Reaction. After you do a challenge in which Butterbumps is participating, discard a card at random from your hand. So exactly the same as Moon Boy, but with an Intrigue Icon rather than a power.
Yeah. He's solid because Moon Boy's solid.
Yeah, he's again a solid one of.
The only downside I'd say compared to Moon Boy is obviously Moon Boy does power, and being that he's in Baratheon, you're probably to playing the red keep. He gets bonuses to his power, so he's less likely to lose that challenge.
Yep, he's effectively 4 strength.
Yeah, whereas, I mean, you're not going to be throwing him in by Butterbumps in by himself, really, unless you know you're going to win the Intrigue challenge.
Yep. And one of the main problems with Tyrell is all of their high-cost characters, excluding Queen of Thorns, because she doesn't see much play, don't really have the Intrigue Icon.
No.
So you've got your Chud, your Courtesans, potentially going into a challenge with Butterbumps, but it's like 4 strength if you're using one of those each.
And you're probably not going to risk using Marjorie to bump this one up.
Yeah.
Because there's better uses for Marjorie.
So, it's solid. It's going to be a one-off in all Tyrell decks. It being loyal as well is good because Tyrell, all of their good stuff is non-loyal right now.
Yeah.
So just having another card for fealty is great.
But yeah, he's just alright. It's a real downer after the last 2 cards.
I love the art though.
Oh no, he looks awesome, and I love the idea of these gestures, which can give you a big bonus because Insight card draw is golden right now, but they also have this downside. So if you don't use them right, they make a fool out of you.
Exactly. No, it's really good design for the fools. I'm just waiting for the military one.
I was just thinking about that. Who would there be one?
So it's likely to be in the second cycle, I guess, and it will be Stark because it'll be Sir Dontos Hollard. Do you remember? He's in the show. He's the knight who gets made into a fool by Joffrey.
Oh right, okay.
He's only in the show very briefly.
I assume he's Stark affiliated. Obviously, he doesn't really mention that in the show, or is that? Just
he's the one who helped Sansa escape King's Landing.
Oh yeah.
That's why he'd be Stark affiliated. And he'd make sense as the military, monarchon, knight, and fool.
Yeah.
So I expect to see him possibly in the next cycle, maybe in the third one.
And Stark could use a draw engine.
Yeah, well, some extra insight is always good. I mean, they've got quite a lot of draw now since their deluxe came out, but every little helps. So
it's a bit more combo-y with their one though, except for Gates of Winterfell.
Yes, yeah. Well, you've got Blackfish, who's the solid, reliable one, and then you've got Cassell, who doesn't silly play anymore. Poor Roderick. But he was so good for like one pack, and then the deluxe came out.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it was just win a minutes challenge. The Blackfish doesn't even need to be near it. You can just stand at the back going, "Well done, boys, have a card."
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a very similar one for the military monarchon in the next cycle.
Okay.
But yeah, they're all three of the potential fools are going to be solid characters, but they're not really ever more than a one of in a deck.
No. I think that sums him up. Is if you've seen Moon Boy in action, you know what he's going to be like.
Yep, he is laying an egg though.
Moon Boy had stilts. That's way cool.
I have no idea why he's laying an egg. It's just incredibly weird, but I dig the art. It's cool.
So next up, we got a Tyrell event. A gift from gift of Arbor Red. It is House Red wine, if that ever makes a difference. Action. Near your faction card to have each player reveal the top 4 cards of his or her deck. Choose one card revealed by each player, add that to their hand, shuffle the other cards back into the deck. Or back into the decks. Meh. I mean, I could see ways this could be so much better. There could be, look at the cards and then go, like, even if it was like pick one to go to the bottom of the deck and something, or one to go to hand. I don't know, they're just not.
So this is very much a sleeper card. It's going to be hated and not used a lot by people right now.
Yeah.
But it will eventually be in a lot of decks when people realise how good it is. So this is basically a reprint of Much and More from first edition. Apart from that was a neutral event, so anyone could run it. And you didn't have to kneel your faction card. But as Tyrell, this is their only faction card kneel effect. It doesn't really matter. And Much and More was in a lot of decks towards the end of first ed, just because it set up so many combos. If you're playing a Voltron deck or any deck that relies on combos and being able to filter top 4 and find a key piece of that combo, while at the same time seeing some cards that your opponent could potentially draw and hopefully giving them a useless card. Like, best case scenario right now probably is you give them some economy when they're already full of economy, or give them a dead character when they've, so it's useless draw.
Or a Chud where they could have had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good card, but I don't think it'll see much play yet.
I would say isn't. Firstly, Tyrell's seems to be the house that currently has the most draw.
Mm-hmm.
So because they've got the Marder, they've got the Pleasure Barges. They can get through the deck fairly quickly if they need to, but they've also got Bear of the Maiden Fair. Which,
yes, well, Bear of the Maiden Fair doesn't draw you the card though.
No, but at least it makes your deck set up to how you want it, and you can use it offensively if you don't need. If you've got a lead, you can then use it offensively quite well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I can't help but feel it just seems a bit. The top 4 just seems a bit janky. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's the definition of a jank card.
Okay.
It will only find its way into certain decks, but and probably right now not into many at all. But in the future, I can see there being some combo decks that will use it quite well. There is one shame that it's one of the things that's lost in translation from first to second. Because it's now got the faction card kneel.
Yeah.
It didn't used to have that, so you could potentially play Much and More as it was called then, and find another Much and More, and then play Much and More, and keep triggering it so you get all 3 cards out of the way, which sounds really bad, okay? Because you're basically giving yourself 1 card and your opponent 3 cards.
Yeah.
By the time, because you got rid of all 3, right? But that would actually be really good with reserve right now.
Oh yeah.
If you could work it a similar way, so you give them a load of good cards or whatever, or even just bad cards, and then they've got to discard them all down to reserve. Because there was a very common play with Much and More in first ed was you would play it pre-plot, so that you'd lose a card if you played Much and More, but you'd gain a card, so there'd be no difference. And your opponent would draw a card effectively, so they'd be 1 card higher than you. And then your first plot would be Rule by Decree, which is the player with the highest number of cards in hand discards down to 4 cards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see this little janky combo like that?
Yeah.
So that was quite a common play with it back in first ed. Now we don't have that plot obviously anymore, but we have the reserve, which is effectively the same mechanic.
So I'm just trying to think of a way. I mean, it'll be a few packs time. So if you're looking at like a Winter Martell deck, so when you've got the Kings of Winter out, so you're making the opponent's reserve lower anyway. If you were then to take, what's it, Wraiths? Is it Wraiths in the Mist?
Wraiths in the Mist, yeah.
I would lower their reserve by a further 2, and then play this.
Yeah, because you get a great card, and then, well, whatever you give them, they're discarding down to 3 or 4 cards anyway, so...
Okay. I
there's potential there.
Yeah, it's not as amazing as another draw card we got later in this pack.
No.
But yeah, okay, I can see if you set it up right, okay, I can start seeing how this could be useful.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, even what I'm coming up with, you still need 2 more packs. Oh, is it? Yeah, 2 more packs, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, it will probably won't see much play now, but it's going to be a sleeper card that once we can get some more janky decks out, some more combo decks, it'll be a key card. So yeah, it's one to look for in the future, I think, especially when we get Dark Wings, Dark Words reprinted, which was a champ card agenda, so it will be back.
Okay.
Which made your minimum deck size 75 cards. And you were only allowed to play 1 copy of each event by name. So you can only play 1 copy of Gift of Arbor Red, for example. And whenever you played an event, you drew a card.
Oh, okay. So you just want to be playing as many events as possible to draw.
Yeah, so like this has a one of. You get to look at the top 4, right? You get to pick one, and then you get to draw another one on top.
Yeah. So then that basically replaces itself, and then okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, so I think it's basically a future potential card.
Okay. So on to Night's Watch.
First Night's Watch card is Sworn Brother. So this is a non-unique character. 2 gold, 1 strength, and a power icon. He is a builder, and he has no attachments except weapon. And the rest of his text is, reduce the cost of the first location you marshal each round by 1. So, it's finally some more economy for Night's Watch, though not ideal. It is a builder, so it works with our favourite card.
Brandon's gift.
Yeah, I can imagine how good it would be if you had a couple of these out, and you had Brandon's gift came out for free, and then you played the 3rd Sworn Brother, and you could trigger Brandon's gift. Ugh, be living the dream.
And then someone plays first now. Yeah, I quite like this card because it's a 2 cost reducer that you don't kneel to do the reducing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's a little bit more limited when you can use it, but if it has to be the first location, there's not many times you're playing more than 1 location a turn anyway.
That's the thing. I think obviously it's not loyal as well, so you could banner it and reduce your other locations. But outside of, I'd say, Night's Watch and Baratheon and Greyjoy even, there's not many non-economy locations being played. So if you think of just the 9 limited cards that you'd play as on average in a deck, you'd probably have 3 of your in-house, 3 of the Rose Road, and 3 of the King's Road. So he could only reduce the King's Road out of those 9.
Yeah.
And then most houses are running those 9 and then their draw location, at which point he'd reduce 4 cards in the deck.
Yeah.
Which is not amazing. But if you're playing a Night's Watch deck, then obviously you have more locations. You've got the Wall, you've got Castle Black, you've got Shadow Black. And it's even better if you're playing Banner to the Stag and going for the whole Dominance package.
I was also wondering if we went Banner to the Sun, and then had
Gaston, yeah.
Watch the Sun, Watch the Martell. Yeah, you got Gaston, you got the Boneway as well.
Yeah, Gaston, Boneway. Yes, I think its main uses are probably in those decks. So the Night's Watch Baron, Night's Watch Martell combos.
Yeah.
So you can get, because they run a lot of locations, those decks. So if you can get like the Iron Throne, the Armory, the Table, all cheaper.
Even without that, I think if you're just doing mono Night's Watch, I think you probably still end up taking him.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because it's an icon spread. It's not. Again, that wall's expensive to get out, and there's not many ways of reducing it because they don't have their own reducing location.
Yes,
so,
they got Mega Contribution instead.
Yeah, and obviously we already know in the next cycle they've got
repeatable.
Yeah, so they've got some more.
Yeah, they definitely have some more solid locations coming out. So
it's definitely a card that's good now. It could be really good later on.
Yeah, it only gets better. There's always going to be more locations added. So
Yeah. God, seriously, after Stark, this is just it's just like.
it's not bad. It's just it's not as exciting as Ward.
No, it's not exciting as Wars. Or the.
It is a one strength power monocon, so you'd have to have some amazing text for it to be as exciting as Ward.
When you play it, kill the most expensive character on the table. That'd be. All right. So the next one we got is Old Bear's Raven, which is a unique attachment with the Companion and Raven special rule. Keywords. Not keywords, whatever.
Traits.
Thank you. Attached character gains stealth. If the attached character is Old Bear Mormont, he gains an intrigue icon. If you're playing Mormont, this is a must-have, surely.
Yeah. Obviously, in a Mormont deck, it's amazing because his 3 weaknesses right now are he hasn't got stealth, hasn't got an intrigue icon, and he can be knelt. So this clears up 2 out of 3, which is pretty good.
And Tears is a big downside for him.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's part of the whole intrigue. Getting the intrigue icon, protection from Tears and Tyene in this pack as well is very nice.
Because
Barrow will still be a problem, but everything else, yeah.
He's the biggest problem because he's not a ranger, is he?
He's not, no. So Benjen doesn't help him.
Yeah, and that So if you got him, you need it. I do wonder, and I'm sure I've heard this somewhere else, whether it'd be better if it was any attached Lord Commander character gains the intrigue icon. So that when you got future Lord Commanders.
So when you get a Jon Snow eventually.
Yeah. Just so it makes it a bit more usable with other decks in the future. But otherwise, attached character gets stealth, that's pretty good. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's the only way, other than, what's he called? Sirio and the Scout, to give stealth to any character. So it's actually a really solid banner card as well.
Oh yeah, just realised.
Doesn't have to go on a Night's Watch character.
Yes.
Right, so if you're playing any other house, giving Tywin stealth, for example.
Oh. He doesn't need it. He's good enough.
Yeah. So again, it's one of those cards that will be better in other houses right now because the majority of Night's Watch characters are no attachments except weapon. So they can't actually take this. I think it's pretty much the Old Bear and Benjen that can take it.
And you know what's going to happen? The Old Bear's going to get it, and he's immediately going to get milks. And it's his old. Yeah, sure, he'd have stealth and an intrigue icon, but he'll have to kneel to defend. Oh.
Yeah. So it's a solid card, but in Night's Watch right now, it's not going to do much for you other than on Mormont.
Yeah. So again, if you're taking Mormont, take it. Otherwise,
yeah. It is a companion, so a card we've got coming up later on can search for it.
Yeah, that's true. Although I think the issue is, you have to win a challenge of a lord or lady character.
That's an issue because they have one lord,
and it's the guy you want to put it on.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if you're going down that route, you're adding Littlefinger in and a couple other things to make that a bit more useful.
Oh yeah, don't play Street of Silk just for Old Bear's Raven in Night's Watch. It's a bad plan. But no, it's a good card. It's a nice effect. Giving stealth is not to be understated, really. But there's just not a lot of targets in Night's Watch for it right now.
No,
we're going to get more, obviously, but for now, it's probably a one-off. Just to hope you get it on Mormont, but you don't build around it.
I know they're being careful with Night's Watch, but I really hope they give them some love soon because it's starting to get a bit embarrassing.
They won a regional last weekend.
Was it? Well, is this like when you had the Night Watch Kraken deck that won?
No, Night's Watch Filthy won a big regional in America last weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I was as surprised as everyone. With all these Lanny Krakens winning.
How many people turned up? 4?
It wasn't humongous. I think it was in the mid-20s.
That's not bad.
And there was only one Lannister player, which is very odd. But yeah, Night's Watch Filthy.
Okay, challenge accepted, and find this deck and play with it.
Yeah, now you know what to take to Nationals. Train for the next few months and you're sorted. Night's Watch Filthy.
No one would see it coming.
No.
Literally. Ah, right. Do you want to do yeah, I can't even say his name. There you go.
Sir Barry. Yeah, so next up is our first Barra card, which is Sir Barristan Selmy. So this is a 7-cost, non-loyal character. 6 strength, military and power. Kingsguard, Knight, and Small Council traits. Trying to fill up that text box. He's got Renown, and the interrupt. When a lord or lady character you control would be killed, stands for Barristan Selmy to save that character.
Initial thoughts?
He's good, but he's obviously there to protect from all the targeted kill and removal that exists in the game right now. But they will just direct it at him instead.
Yeah.
Because he is not a lord, and he's not a lady, obviously. So he can't save himself. And he can't take duplicates. Sorry, not duplicates. He can't take bodyguards because
he's not a lord or lady.
He's not a lord or lady. So he's only protected by duplicates. So he's just got a big target on his head.
So this is basically equivalent of Mr. Crescent in that you have to milk him first before you milk anyone else.
Yeah.
You've got to kill him first.
I'll kill him first, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he has a lot of synergy because of the fact he stands to save, he doesn't kneel. So if you put Stannis out, you can leave him knelt. Someone's about to kill you, Stannis or Mel, you just stand him up. At the end, if you look at again, you've got Stannis, you can get 3-0 to save from Tears. If it's on Stannis or Rob, again, I don't know why you'd be teasing them, you just tears him instead. But, just could be. But he's a 7-cost and no way of reducing him, so
yes,
you've got to build your deck around that. And I think most Baratheon players aren't really taking trading, are they?
No, not generally. I mean, they're quite happy to stick with their 1/7, 1/6, or 1/5 coster right now. So putting in another 7-coster, he's not going to go in every Barra deck, but I think the more rushy ones as well could use him quite nicely. So Barra to Rose, for example, just having the extra instance of Renown. It's finally another character that works with Lightbringer. Oh
yeah, that's a fair point.
So you can get 2 uses out of him.
I guess he's not loyal. So yeah, if you did Rose bans the Stag, then you get the Arbor out of him.
Yep, and then he's a bit more affordable.
And then you can use him to keep Marjorie alive, keep your Knights alive.
Yeah, keep Randall or Night Flowers alive. Yeah, he's solid. It's just you need a way to protect him first, I think. So giving him an intrigue icon, something from being Tears, for example, will be useful.
Priority number 1, really.
Yeah. Also, he's got some nice traits as well. Don't forget. So him being a knight, the knight plot will mean he's immune to events. Yeah,
that's a fair point, and he'll synergize quite well with the way the Ban of the Rose, with the way Tyrell's going at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's a solid card. He's just not. It's. I guess when he's a 7-coster and the ability's okay, but he's got to be knelt first anyway. So if you're going second and he's standing, he's not going to be helping you.
Yeah, well, if they do a military, you just defend with him, even if you're going to lose, right? And then you stand him to save someone else.
Doesn't save you from Miri.
No.
Comes in doing an intrigue and kills Mel.
Yep.
Obviously, hopefully you've knelt her, but...
Yeah, if you're playing Barrow, hopefully you've knelt Miri, yeah.
So yeah, again, he's good, just not, amazing. But then that's not the end of the world.
No, like I said, I think he finds a home in Tyrell because not a lot of people are playing their 7-coster right now. So he could replace Queen of Thorns.
Yeah.
In their more rushy builds, just to have another character of renown. Because then their 7, 6, and 5-costers all have renown at that point.
Oh god, yeah.
So that's quite nice. It's just you've got to pack the Hand's Judgments or some little birds to keep him alive first.
Okay. Anything else to add before we go into City Watch?
One last thing. Small council trait. quite a few cards now with a small council trait. So I'm hoping we do get a small council agenda soon.
I had been wondering that because obviously I know you're saying back in First Ed you could bring any characters in from any house. They just cost you a lot more to play.
Yeah, they just cost you 2 gold more.
But they could easily do some agendas that could mess around with things and have like a small council agenda, a 7 agenda where you can have any character from any other house as long as they have those traits.
Yeah, well they are doing that for. They announced what's it called? The Battle of the Trident.
Was that the plan for that? So if you have a knight deck, you can take knights from any faction.
Yeah, so it's knights, armies, or maesters, depending on which wins the vote. And yeah, I assume the text box will just be you can take any non-loyal knights.
Yeah. Oh, that could be. Oh, you can make some.
Or any non-loyal maesters, etc., which would be some really cool decks.
Yeah, you can make some really fun ones of that. If that is the way it goes.
Yeah. So potentially he has a home in those if the knights one wins.
Yeah.
But yeah, something similar for small council. Obviously, there's not many small council members.
No.
So it would have to be something different in terms of the agenda, rather than just saying you can take other characters. It would have to have some sort of other bonus as well. Because it's probably going to be there's 7 members of the small council.
Well, it varies, isn't it?
It varies as the books go on and they get replaced. But right now we've got Littlefinger, Varys, 2 copies of Ned.
Yeah. This chap.
Yeah, Barristan.
Pycelle. What's his name? Rob's brother.
Renly.
Renly, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's...
And he'd actually be quite good in that small council. That is the agenda.
Yes.
Does he reduce the cost of each non-Baratheon character by 1?
Yeah, wouldn't be too bad in that.
Yeah.
Something potentially to come down the line later on.
Yeah. More options, the better.
Yeah.
So next up, we've got the City Watch. They are it's a 5-cost character with a military and power. It's 6 strength. Army with ambush 6. No attachment except weapons, and while you have more power on your faction card than your opponent, reduce the cost to ambush City's Watch by 2.
It's a Lannister card.
It really is. Barra tend to lead, I guess. So you're probably going to be ambushing them in for 4, but like most cards like that, if you've got that much gold on your plot, people know what you're going to be doing. Yeah.
It's quite telegraphed if you're holding 4 gold back. Even more so if you're holding 6 gold back.
Yeah. So, unless it's like a first snow turn, and you can just kind of blag it out that, it's had nothing to play. But even then, people are still going to think about it. They're still, if they know Barra, they're going to go, well, I think you've got that anyway, so I'll just assume you have and play around it. It's okay. Obviously, armies are hopefully going to get some more love soon with ops and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's solid. If you compare it to like Ranging Party, which is just 1 less gold and 1 less strength, effectively, no text. It's similar cost to strength ratio. It just will find its home in Lannister Banner of the Stag decks, really, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Just having Tyrion fund it. It's just a very similar card to the Hound, isn't it? It's just a Hound that doesn't return to hand.
And a Hound that's a bit more conditional.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if you're doing balance of the Lion, it could be Tyrion can help get them out, but
yep.
The problem is if you're actually losing, you're probably almost better just to deploy them and save the gold.
Yeah. You're not gonna ambush them for 6 ever.
No, so at which point if you're ambushing them for 4, it's kind of a win more card.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be willing to use it. I don't know. They just seem okay to me.
They're not too exciting, except in Lannister builds, where they're pretty good.
Unless there's a way of reducing armies in the future. I don't know if that's a thing in First Ed.
There was a plot in First Ed that was put a army into play from your hand for free. Right. Because you could have armies that were ridiculously expensive, like 10 gold.
Well, we have the 8 gold ones now, don't we?
Exactly. So that was quite good.
Okay. But
if it's something similar to that, it would be reasonable, but mean, there already is a plot that is put a cost 5 character into play from your hand, and that doesn't see any play.
No.
So,
yeah, I'm not. I mean, it's actually a card. Initially, when I looked at it, I kind of wanted to like it, and the more I looked at it, the more I wasn't. I just couldn't really find a reason to.
there's nothing bad per se about it. It's just not particularly exciting, and it doesn't go in most Barra builds. It goes in the Lanny builds that are using Barra in some way.
Basically, it's expensive gold cloaks that doesn't disappear once you've used it.
Yeah.
Say like an expensive, a slightly expensive hound.
Yeah.
But you see, you're never ambushing for 6 anyway, because why would you? Well, I guess the one exception would be against something like Greyjoy, when if there's on the board, they're just going to stealth past it anyway.
Yep.
Gives you
the surprise defense.
But then they also have the raiding longship, so
yeah,
you can't have an attachment unless you're using Lanny and you jump in for 6, then you put a 5 or 4
Widow's Wail on it.
Widow's Wail on it. That's still not. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, just it's okay.
I've pretty said most of that. Like it's not going to be in the Barra Filthy decks really. It's going to be in Banner of the Lion.
Well, yeah, what's it like? Sell me if you're bannering to Stag Tyrell, they might have the money to actually do it.
Yeah, they do have a lot of 5-cost military power icon characters though.
I've got it. Sold that. It's what's it? Martell Banner of the Stag. It's 5 cost.
Yeah, Ariane jumping in. Yeah.
I've actually been messing around with Martell Banner to the Stag, so that might be something I'd try in there.
Yeah, I mean they've got the Martell themselves have the 4-cost armies, right? That are 4 strength for military and power.
Yeah.
So could go in place with them potentially.
Just being trying, just as kind of get that little extra strength because
2 extra strength.
6 strength coming out of nowhere, against most decks will be quite a bit of a headache on the challenge maps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
That's probably about it. So.
Next up, onto Lannister.
Yes.
So we have Sir Ilan Payne. So this is a 6-cost unique character with an intrigue and a power icon. Very strangely no military icon. 4 strength, and he's non-loyal. He is a knight, and he has the marshalling action. Kneel Sir Ilan Payne to choose and kill a character of printed cost 3 or lower. Thoughts?
Well, my first thought is, how does a man with no tongue have an intrigue icon?
Yeah, this is why I was like, he has no military, but he has an intrigue icon. Yet he can't speak and he has a sword in hand.
I can only assume it was a kind of, let's get a bit more of an icon spread going on.
Yeah.
But otherwise, he's really good, isn't he? Being able to kill hey, you got Marjorie Tyrell, have you? No, not anymore.
I think Whack a Dragon's the best.
Keep whacking those dragons down. Obviously, they have ways of bringing them back, but you could Jakaris me here. Not anymore. just killed him. Yeah, Whack a Dragon, Marjorie Tyrell. Do any other annoying 3-costers? I think of many other ones, but again,
all the maesters.
Oh yeah, all the maesters. Just kill a Chud to get out of the way.
Exactly. Yeah, if you're choosing it similar to Greywind.
Against Night's Watch, and you want to get what's it? I know what you're talking about. You get Maester Ariana, make him nil immediately before you've even done a military action. You're then killing something.
Oh yeah, Maester Aemon. Yep.
Aemon, yeah. So he's really good. I just do not understand why he doesn't have a military icon. Just don't get it.
I guess he's not out there fighting any battles. He is just the executioner. He stays in court and beheads people. Pretty why he doesn't have the military icon, I guess. But
yeah, but then just make him a monocon of power.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could argue the reason he's got an intrigue icon is you're only ever using him when he's chopping someone's head off, which means they probably have been out intrigued. So he's kind of a product of the system.
I guess he sort of has an intrigue icon later on in the series because he becomes like Jaime's confidant. Like Jaime tells him a lot of his secrets.
Yeah, because he can't tell anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which obviously they've completely ignored in the TV show.
Yeah, so there's that side. There's reasonings to give him those icons. It just initially strikes you as odd when you see this massive guy with a sword, and you're like, he's got no military icon. Yeah.
It is interesting to see a knight though with an intrigue icon.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
That knight deck kind of theme comes a thing, and you know, obviously you can now. Whereas when the whole knight thing started off with this cycle, you couldn't really do it in Lannister at the time. Now you can. They
got Gregor and Jaime.
Yeah, and now Sir Payne. So they got 3 knights there. You take the 3 neutral knights.
Yep.
You know, you've got quite a good knight theme going on. Or you just take that package and banner it to someone, because none of them are loyal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, he's solid as a banner card as well. Just thinking in Dragon, for example, using Illyrio to pay the 2 to stand him.
Oh, and do it again.
Yeah.
Here's 2 gold to kill 2 characters. Yeah, I'd pay that. Yeah. Oh, you got a dupe. Stand them up, do it again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because when you're playing Lannister and Dragon, you've got plenty of money. Tyrion funds Illyrio. Yeah.
I'm going back to it again. So I think it's because I really want them to get them to work. Tyrell, Banner of the Lion.
Mm-hmm.
No, because then you could and you go down the whole Knights theme, see Lady Sanders Road and all that. Yeah, you could really, with him and the other 3 Knights in there, and Tyrion, that could be quite. I think you got to start a quite good deck there. You got
there's a potential for a more janky build as well, where you've got Ilyn Payne and the House Florent Knights to just get rid of loads of characters during marshalling.
Yeah.
Very pricey to get rid of probably some small characters, but
you could use
something there.
It's a Lannister card, so it's good. I don't have much more way of saying that, but yeah, he's.
I think he's perfectly balanced though. In comparison to some of the other cards they've seen this cycle, I can't find any flaw in him really.
It does mean you got him and Sir Gregor out. You're killing a lot of characters about kind of in addition to any challenges you're doing.
Yeah, if you're being lucky and playing the casino game with Gregor.
Yeah, I've managed to kill Rob and Ned Stark in one turn with that.
Yeah, it can be nasty. I've seen people killing Dany and then getting Miri and
yeah, it's
nasty stuff.
But easy to say, you are kind of trusting to luck.
Yeah, it's just a luck game at that point.
Yeah. Okay, so should we go on to the location?
Yeah.
It's 3 costs, unique. It's a small council chamber. It has the trait King's Landing. Got it right at the time. It's immune to plot effects. Events, sorry. It's immune to events, which made me sad. Reaction: after you win an intrigue challenge, place 1 power on the small council chamber. Initially, I thought this was really, really good. But then I kind of figure you probably need to be taking other cards to make it really worthwhile.
Yeah, so again, it's a sort of a seed card, I think, for when their deluxe box comes out and they get like a very intrigue-heavy theme. Well,
you can kind of do it now because you can take. I can remember which one of the 2 locations is the one which means you can do 2 intrigue.
Yeah, Cast the Rock.
So, unless you're playing against Martell or another Lannister deck, you're probably going to be dominating the intrigue phase anyway.
Yep. So
if you go down that route, you're probably getting 2 power a turn on this. Plus, if you're using Tywin in that challenge, he's got rounds. That's another.
It can speed up quite quickly, I think.
It's quite expensive, but then Lannister are a deck that can afford can afford nice expensive things. You haven't got to worry about We Do Not Sow.
Yep. So only hate for it really is Newly Made Lord and Dagmar.
Yeah,
that's it, right?
That is literally it. And if let's say it was to get discarded with Euron Crozai, at least Greyjoy, if they steal this, they're not really getting any benefit from it.
Yeah, I mean they've got Euron probably who wins intrigue regularly.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And again, they're against Lannister, so you're probably not winning intrigue very often.
Yeah,
I think it's good, but it's definitely a card you're building your deck around to use. It's not just to chuck it in because it's
it's not just chuck a copy in. It's definitely build around it, and it would be a very nice card for House of Dreams when that comes back again, which it was a first ed agenda. Again, it's a champ card, so we know it'll be back at some point.
That's where you could start. You took 6 cards and then you had 3 gold, was it, or 4 gold to marshal with?
Yeah, so you only had 6 cards for your setup and a reduced gold, but you started with a location of your choice in play.
Yeah.
So it would have decks basically themed around a certain location.
Yeah, I've seen that one before. My initial thought was the Great Kraken as a one, but then I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think each house has one they could do it around, right? All the draw ones like Red Keep would be amazing.
Oh, what's it? The Arbor.
Well, If it stays the same as it was in first ed, it was non-limited.
Oh, okay. The
So
wall then?
you couldn't do the armor.
But the wall or Winterfell?
Potentially. Depends on how they print it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a cost limit of like something.
It might have a cost limit of 3 or lower, like it did back in first ed.
But yeah, just go back to small council chamber. Yeah, it's good. You need to build around it. So if you get the House Dreams comes out, you get this, and you get Castle Rock, and you get the other one where you get you're drawing every time you win an intrigue challenge. And you using Tyrion to fund all your events and Cersei to destroy their hand. Then yeah, I think it could be quite a good card. But I say you don't just slot it in for sure.
No. So I think what I'd like to see with it is it's not there quite yet, but I think there's a decent different take on Lannister Lord of the Crossings with this.
Ooh.
Where you do the 2 intrigue and a power challenge each round, and that's it. So you focus on the intrigue, have Cassidy Rocks get 2 intrigue challenges around. So you do 2 intrigue and the power. So you're gaining 2 from this for winning the 2 intrigue. You're gaining 1 from power, 1 from your 3rd challenge, all the renown they've got.
Yeah.
Be a very quick deck.
Yeah, you could be winning in 3 turns with that if you get set up quick enough.
Yeah.
The other one is if you went if you bannered to the Rose and had the informants coming in.
Yep.
To give you a 3rd intrigue challenge. But then you're obviously not getting the power from the rush at the end. But from Lord of the Crossing. But yeah, again, it's got some uses. It's got legs, definitely.
Yeah, it's a card that's not going to find itself into most Lannister decks right now, I don't think.
Do you reckon there would be a plot which is based an intrigue version of Storm of Swords?
Oh, so you can do an extra intrigue challenge? Probably not. I mean, they've got the location that does the same.
I'm just wondering, because then obviously, then you could be getting a stupid number of intrigue challenges I was thinking of, but otherwise, again, it's alright. I'd say it's good, it's just not.
It's good, it just doesn't fit into most of the Lannister builds that are out and popular right now, but it's a card that will be in a lot in the future, I think.
Yeah, I'd probably say once that deluxe box is out, I'm sure we'll probably start seeing it. Okay, so Greyjoy.
Greyjoy character, Dagmar Cleftjaw. It's a 7-cost military and power icon, 5 strength. He is unique and loyal. He has the Captain and the Ironborn traits. He's got Renown, and he has the Interrupt. When a claim is applied for a challenge in which Dagmar is attacking alone, choose a non-limited location of cost 3 or lower, controlled by the losing opponent. Instead of the normal claim, take control of that location. So, right now, most houses are probably running 1 location that can be stolen by this ability, which is their draw 1.
The Red Keep, because it's non-limited. The non-limited bit really hurts this.
Yeah.
The Red Keep's the big one. Obviously, we just talked about the small council chamber, but other than stop Lannister having it, there's very little reason to steal it. Again, I guess Castle Black, but again, you're only really stealing it to stop them from having it.
Yeah, that's a case of a lot of it. You'll be stealing it just to stop them using it, rather than gaining an advantage yourself. I mean, obviously, Red Keep, a rival Great Kraken, Plaza of Punishment.
Ooh, that'd be a nice one.
Yeah.
Gaston, but then they'd probably just use Gaston as you're on your way in, because they know they're going to lose it anyway.
Yeah. Because Gaston would apply before his interrupt, so.
Yeah. Sunspear? Not that anyone really uses it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, there's very few targets for it, but again, it will only get better, because there's going to be a lot more locations as the game goes on. But yeah, right now.
What's that? The new Knights, the Shadow Tower. That'd be quite a good one to steal.
Yeah, but then that would mean, like, to use that, right, you've got to be winning stuff on defense, and which Greyjoy decks run defense mainly.
And which Night's Watch decks run offense. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not that sure about him initially. When I first looked at him, I am denied about dropping €1 on Crow's Eye for him to go down to €2 on Crow's Eye. But I just think Euron Crozat's probably a bit better actually because his it's not an interrupt, so I'm still getting my claim. Or Euron Crozat also works on defense.
Yep.
Euron's easy to get out because he's a lord. Can't die to tears.
Yep. Got the intrigue icon. Got an extra strength as well.
And can take limited. I mean, obviously he's mostly taking King's Roads because that's normally in the bin. But
it's effectively gaining 2 gold a round though, doing that.
Yeah.
3 gold a round even, sorry.
Gold around. And once that King's Road has been used, as long as he's winning a challenge, he's getting you one back. It's you're just using it and burning through it. And obviously then he can weave Do Not Sow and get other locations as well.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, the more I think about him, because also he has to attack alone.
Yeah, so you compare it to the other character who does that, Miri.
Yeah.
And which one is better?
Yes. I mean, he's slightly easy to get out because he's loyal.
Yeah.
And he has renowned, but otherwise, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not convinced by him. I think I'm sticking with 3 Eurons.
I just see a lot of the time if you do end up playing this guy and you've got him on the board, they're not going to have a location that you really want to steal. So you're just going to be using him for a 5 strength body with renown.
Yeah.
Well, effectively a blank text box other than renown.
I guess I was thinking about it. I mean, Greyjoy is the one deck where, because you got the long ships, you could get him through by himself, or the ships to boost his strength. So I guess the attacking alone bit isn't awful, but you need to control that board as well. They've got to have a small board.
Yeah. No, I don't think he's terrible. It's just he's not as good as the other 7 costers we've got this cycle.
And the other one is, which challenge do you give up? Because, I mean, your military maybe later on when they've got so many chuds out doesn't really make...
Well, the thing is, you're military, right? You're going to replace the claim with Seastone Chair, hopefully, in an ideal situation.
Exactly. And then
which means it'd be replacing power, and you don't want to replace power because power wins you games.
Exactly. So this is either a card you're using because you're losing badly, at which point you're losing anyway, so it's not really sealing one location is not really going to bring you back into it. I'm not convinced, but I don't think he's that great. But Greyjoy cards that are great. The Drown God's Blessing, a one cost attachment with the trait Blessing. It's Greyjoy character only. Attached character gains the Drown God trait and can't be chosen as the target of an opponent's event, and you get +1 initiative.
So only target of opponent's event. That's the key bit there.
Yeah. Yes. So there are ways around it. So, for instance, something like Dragon Sight can't work against him if they're the only person attacking. Yep. If there's 2 people attacking, then yes, it can be. I guess that's one. Although Dragon Sight, obviously, technically, you also have the defender also has someone in the target player also has someone in the challenge, and they're not the only target.
Yeah. So Dragon Sight doesn't target anyone as such, does it? It just gives everyone participating -1, right? They just check the wording because there is potentially a way you could use it with Dragon Sight if the wording is right.
There is stuff like consolidation of power. So basically, it'd have to, like, if you're you couldn't do, like, if Theon had this, you couldn't do Theon and a Chud.
No, you could just do Theon. Yeah.
So no, sorry, it has to be Theon and a Chud. Sorry. So you need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you couldn't just do Theon.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's really good. It doesn't stop tears, which is the main bit.
Yeah, the weird ruling on tears.
If it stopped tears, then this card would be arguably the best card in the pack.
I don't know.
Arguably.
It would definitely be a lot better. Like, it's still solid.
It stops
Dracarys. Stopping Dracarys is the main one.
And that's the big one. It stops Dracarys. Yeah. For me, Targ, you stealth for everything, and they go, fine, I'll steal this dragon, you're dead anyway. And he makes you sad. So yeah, it stops Dracarys. It stops put to the sword. Not that that's a massive issue, but it means you can kneel at your board and not worry about it if you're going to do it to you. It stops a few other events, but more importantly, it gives you +1 initiative, which is what you want. It means you are immune to your opponent's Seastone Chair. You're immune to basically anything which you have to attachment for. And if you've got lots of Drowned God priests on the board, you're getting a massive strength bonus.
Oh yeah, so giving Balon a Drowned God trait when you've got the priests out can be quite nice.
And it's probably a card that's only going to get better because the Drowned God is something they're adding in at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be one of their key traits throughout the game, won't it? So.
Yeah, I wasn't excited when Banter initially spoiled it. I was like, "This is bonkers," and then the Tears ruling came out, and I went, "Okay, it's good." In my kind of deck in the head, I had built immediately once I'd heard Banter and the Prone cards. I had 3 of these in every deck, and it's probably going down to a 2 of.
Mm-hmm.
Something up, if you're playing against Targaryen, you want to be seeing it. But otherwise, and also in my winter deck because I've played Snowed Under 0/0 initiative.
Yeah,
having something else with +1 initiative is useful.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely works in initiative-based decks. Yeah. The winter decks that are coming out in the next cycle as well. We'll be packing 2 of those plots probably because it's 5 gold. So yeah, it's all-round solid attachment. It's going to be probably 2 of, I reckon, in a lot of Greyjoy decks right now.
It would be more because for anyone who takes Little Birds, but you're still going to want Little Birds if you're taking them at the moment.
Yeah, you still want to give a Little Bird to Asher in an ideal world. So.
Do you want to start the Targ?
Yeah. So first up, we have Jogo, who is the third and final of Daenerys' Blood Riders. So he's a 4-cost, 3-strength, military power icon, unique character. He is loyal. He's got the Blood Rider and the Dothraki traits. And his text box is, while you control another Blood Rider, Jogo gains stealth. And while he is attacking, he gets plus X strength, where X is the number of characters in the defending player's dead pile. So we've got full set of 3 of the Blood Riders now. So we've got the second sort of combo-y, Voltron-y cards in Targ. We've got the Dragons and Dany, and now we've got all 3 Blood Riders helping each other out. Blood Riders obviously aren't as good as the Dragon package and Dany. But with all 3 out, I think they're fairly solid. I think this guy is the easiest one to fit in by far.
When I've been messing around with Targ decks recently, I immediately took out 1 Unsullied and put him in.
Yeah.
As a one-off. And he's useful. I mean, it'd be great to get I haven't got the other Blood Riders in, so I'm never going to get the stealth, which is a shame, but having plus, Targ kills a lot of things.
Oh yeah, there's going to be characters on the dead piles, even if he's only on 2 or 3 in the game, extra strength. He's still 6 strength, 4 cost. Just solid, really. He's loyal, so works well in Filthy for another loyal card.
Yeah.
I've been messing around with him in Targ Crossing. It's the one of, because I'm running 2 of Aggo and 1 of Ricaro in that deck.
Is that the summary?
Yeah, so the summer plots with Aggo, so you get 2 challenges out of him, which helps with Lord of the Crossing, obviously. And 1 of the other 2 Blood Riders, so that if you get all 3 out, you've got quite a nice stuff going on. You've got Intimidate, Stealth, Stand.
I want to see it. I do want to see a Dothraki deck work. One of my little pet projects for a while was trying to get the 8-cost army to work.
Yeah.
Obviously, he makes that slightly better.
Yeah, I mean he's another card worth considering Dothraki C now. The core set card that doesn't see any play.
Yeah. There's only a reason for that one.
At some point it'll be good once we have enough Dothraki, because it's effectively giving them ambush for the round, isn't it? Like the Hound jumping in for 1 round and doing something.
It's a bit like Wolfswood's now starting to play in some deck. There's enough direwolves to make it worthwhile.
Exactly, yeah. And we can only get more Dothraki, so the only problem is I think we won't get that many more next cycle because we're moving on to her visiting Karth, etc. But I expect the Targ box, however far away that is, will have a fair few Dothraki in it.
So I have a feeling that's probably going to... it's not obviously not knowing anything, but in my head that's probably going to be the 3rd or 4th box, probably.
Yeah, it seems they're doing it based on like how big that house is at that point in the books. So like at the beginning, Starks are the main house. The main characters is all about Eddard and etc. And then
so Targa last because they only got like 3 people.
Well, in terms of importance to the story, like she does quite a lot in the 3rd one, I guess.
I thought when you meant bigness, I thought you meant as how many people.
Oh no, I meant as in important. The story, not as in how many people there are.
Yeah, because
then Phrase would be there somehow with their 100 children.
I imagine. So I imagine like Barra would probably be the third one. That's kind of
I think Barra or Targ will be the third one.
And then whichever one isn't will be the other one.
Yeah. Just in terms of like their popularity on the TV show as well, like in terms of like obviously Stark are like the most popular house, and then Lannister, and probably Targ.
If we're going by popularity by the show, I think I could see Targ being the third one because Barra's kind of
they've sort of wiped Barra out in the show now, so
and kind of gave them a really bad rep by setting fire to their kids.
Yeah, a bit awkward.
Horrible bits. Yeah, I mean when you get some more Dothraki, and obviously where we are now with the show, spoilers if anyone's not caught up, but if you haven't caught up, seriously, why not? Obviously we're now at a point in the TV show where she's got the Dothraki back.
Yep.
So
the two Targ cards in this pack are very apt for the most latest episode of Thrones.
They really are,
especially after the next one.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, obviously, our Dothraki deck is going to be something in the future. And again, like we talked about a lot of cards, and obviously, I think this is more where we are with the game at the moment. A lot of these cards are going to be really good later on.
Yep.
So
we're very early in the game, so a lot of it is just seeding themes and trait-based decks for later on.
And obviously, a lot of the themes are trying to differ from what's in the core set.
Yes.
Obviously, the core set, you've got 20 cards or so, whatever, to work with. And only adding into a time, you're not going to massively change what necessarily those new themes are going to take a time to establish. So, we've got a new two loyal cards, nice. Two loyal Targaryen events. The Funeral Pyre, it's a 0-cost event. Reaction, after a lord or lady character is killed, kneel your faction card to draw 3 cards. Now, this probably was where I'm still sometimes getting a bit used to the Game of Thrones way of wording things. So initially, I did not like this card. It only then occurred to me afterwards it doesn't have to be your lord or lady.
Yes, any lord or lady.
Then I really like this card.
Yes.
Because I was like, so basically, I'm like, so what? Daenerys or Illyrio or Drogo dies, I get to draw 3 cards. That's still not great. Oh, hang a second, I've just put to the sword your Melisandre, and I've drawn 3 cards for doing it. Nice. Yeah, this is pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing Targ have been lacking so far is some good draw. They've only got Daenerys' insight at the moment, and a lot of people have been dropping her crazily for Miri recently. So, some extra draw is always good.
I tried dropping for Miri, that was a mistake.
Yeah, don't drop Dany.
Mainly because it makes Jakaris that much less good. And it's amazing how much -1 strength makes.
Yeah, well, she messes with your opponent's minds quite a lot, Dany, just having them passive -1. But yeah.
So, yeah, this is good. It's a damn good card. You can never say no to card draw.
Yep.
Kneeling your faction card's slightly annoying for the 0-cost event because effectively it is a 1-cost event if you're fealty.
Yes.
But otherwise, meh. It also works well, the whole mind games of have they got Jakaris, haven't they got Jakaris? Because you sit there with your, I've still got fealty, and they go, and you got Standing Dragon. You might not have Jakaris in your hand, but then you can use the whole mind games of that. Actually, I'm using it for Funeral Pyre.
Yep.
So, it's a really damn good card. It's some quite nice artwork.
It's effectively a net draw of 2 cards, though, right? You've got to draw this first, then you're drawing 3.
Yeah.
So it's 2-card draw, and obviously it's very specific situations. So there's going to be Lord or Ladies that die in the game, but most of the time it's going to be Chud that aren't Lord or Ladies. So it's probably going to be through direct kill, at which point a Lord or Lady dies. So you're going to combo of your puts and your tears and your Jakaris.
The other one is you could always, this is a bit janky, I guess, but you could always do what's the plot where -1 strength to everyone?
Blood of the Dragon?
Blood of the Dragon, kill your own Viserys.
Yep.
Play this.
Yeah, and then you could use the plot that's also in this pack to put him in your discard pile, so you can play another one.
Yeah.
have 3 copies of Viserys and just keep killing him to draw cards. And discard attachments at the same time. So that'd be quite fun.
So it has some use. It has some creative uses, and it has just some generally good uses. It's a good card.
I think because of the specific nature of it, of only being when the little lady dies, it's not going to be free of. It's probably going to be 2 copies in a deck. Yeah. And Targa are also packing a lot of events right now.
So it's an issue I've been having.
Quite hard to fit it in. I mean, my current Targa crossing is 14 events.
You've really got to be having Shadow Black Lane or Targa.
Yeah. Shadow Black. Well, again, Shadow Black's a know your faction card though, right? So you play that, you find this. Can't do it at the same turn, but it's still good.
Yeah. It still gives it to you there, and it's still, still just another good card. Yeah, I don't even say otherwise. Draw's good. I do get the feeling that quite a lot of people are underestimating this card, and I think I did initially. I think it's definitely a card you're going to be seeing. Right, maybe I'm going to say controversial card of the pack.
Yeah, I'll take Tyene. So we have Tyene Sand, who is a loyal Martell character. 6 cost, intrigue and power, a lowly 3 strength. She does have the Bastard and the Sand Snake traits, and her text box is Tears of Elise. So it's after you win an intrigue challenge in which Tyene Sand is participating as an attacker. Place a poison token on a character without an intrigue icon. At the end of the phase, if that character still has that poison token, remove it and kill that character. She's quite good.
Yeah, I was just chatting to Mike, the guy who runs Holding. He loves the Stark, and this card just makes Stark cry unless they've got Winterfell out.
Yeah, well, Stark, I'm seeing how good Winterfell is right now, so that and Caitlyn will do some solid work against stopping Tears and this. So I don't think Stark are in the worst situation for it, to be honest. I think Greyjoy suffer quite badly for it.
Yeah, I'm not Greyjoy. My Greyjoy. And you basically got to go first and have C-Zone chair her, because otherwise you're in trouble. Then obviously, Nymeria comes along and takes away your icons, and you can't even do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a great card. It combos so well with all the other icon removal stuff that Martell have.
So obviously it's a conversation. There's enough. I want to chat a little bit about the icon removal stuff, but we'll chat about that with the next card. It's just bonkers that you can use her and then play Tears of Elise.
Yep. So all of the other sort of big removal effects this cycle have been replacement effects, effectively. They replace the claim. Yeah. Whereas this, you still get your intrigue claim. You still get to play Tears if you've got it in hand. So it's crazy.
Yeah, there's not even like a Kneel Your Faction card or anything to make it work. It's literally just, yeah.
Nope. It doesn't have to be on her own.
Yeah. And I would say, I do think she's a very, very, very good card. I don't think she's as good as I initially thought she was. I think that's strength 3 hurts.
Yeah, she's very susceptible to burn.
At least though, as we said, you don't have to attack alone for it to work.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of these replacement effects are when you're attacking alone, she just does your normal intrigue. She's good.
Well, considering Martell's only 6 coster right now, well, I've got Quentin recently, but he's only a one-off because he dies and then triggers his ability. Yeah, the other one is Duran, and people aren't really playing Duran, so she's gonna fit right in his slot right now.
The Martell Filthy deck I made this morning had 3 of her and 1 of the other 2 in.
Yeah,
because there's just not enough Lord of Ladies to make Duran worth it.
No, not yet.
Saying that, he would be worth it if the text box said all Lords and Ladies, so affected himself.
Yeah, I don't think he would be broken either. I think if he affected himself, he would have seen a lot more play.
Because you need another Lord Lady to be out.
Yeah.
It hurts him. Yeah, as we were saying, Tyrene, she's good. You can't even, if you got her sister out, you can't even take her intrigue icon off her, because her sister was getting it back for her. And I'm not even sure, in some ways she's worth, there's so many other good targets in Martell to put milk on.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure she's worth milking. I mean, if you do milk her, you're sad, because she's a 6 cost strength 3 character. But then they're not milking Nymeria, which is, or what's her name, who jumps
Ariane.
And they're probably better for the milk.
Yeah. No, I've got to say, thank God that she is loyal and she is not 5 cost. Because if she could jump room of Ariane or play her in other houses, she would be broken.
Yeah, and I think this is good because Martell need more good loyal cards. And they are becoming a main house faction, but they just know that this is kind of one of the things that's kind of really pushing them towards being main house, definitely. And it does, you say, does fix that 6 cost hole they've kind of had.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, otherwise, yeah, she's great. I'm looking forward to trying out my new Martell Ability deck just to have fun with tears on legs.
She's probably the card out of this whole pack that you've got to most be aware of now in the meta going forward, I'd say.
Well, this and Ward probably.
Yeah, this and Ward.
So they're the 2 main ones. And it does feel like the card Martell needed.
Yep.
They're just getting so death by 1,000 cuts to really aren't they? So you're running in, you're getting if you go second, you go cool. Use Viper's Eyes, take out your hand's judgment. I'm now going to take away your intrigue icon. Go in. You can't stop me. And here's 2 tiers of least and your 2 main characters. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. So do you think we'll ever get a remove a poison token ability or card?
I wonder there might be a Maester ability.
Yeah, I could see it being a Maester chain. Like how we've got the chain that removes attachments coming up. We could get a chain that's remove a poison token.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm not sure. Otherwise, I guess or a character, a healer.
Yeah, it's just very specific right now. Because obviously there's only 2 cards that give that type of token out.
One of them is quite common though.
Yes, it is, but if time didn't exist, it would be printing a card that was just anti-Tears of Lease, which is not what you do in the card design. You don't print a card that's just an exact anti of another card.
Maester Crescens was just anti-milk for a while.
Yeah, but he affects a lot of different attachments. Condition is the most regular trait on attachments. He is not Nilhim to discard milk or poppy as a text box.
I guess because back in the core you did at least have Little Bird and
all the icon granting ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, maybe. I think you say you're going to need to see more poison tokens.
I mean, Martells could obviously manipulate poison tokens in different ways, potentially in some of their abilities. They don't have to just kill that character.
Maybe if what's the trial by combat had been replace intrigue claim with a poison token rather than just straight killing.
Yeah.
Because then that would be more poison tokens. But I guess that doesn't really fit with the theme of trial by combat.
No, I could see more poison type cards coming out.
Yeah, and I think that could be a Martell theme.
Yeah, I mean they don't have to kill. You get different types of poison, right? You could get one that's place a poison token on the character, and that character gets -1 strength for the whole game.
Yeah,
that's poison token just stays there. Gives a -1.
You could do what? Yeah, you could even do one where what's it like a poison token that blanks the text box or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying it should, but there could be definitely more poison effects.
Yeah, it's a potential cool design space that they go into with Martells. So. All right. Next Martell card.
So next one is Imprisoned. It's a 1-cost attachment. It's a condition, and it rounds out. I think this is the card everyone knew existed. Opponent's character only. Attached character loses a military icon. So it rounds out the set. Now, I've been having an eye about these. So now we've got all three icons, and I'm trying to work out which one is the best of the icon removals because they all cost 1. So the cost doesn't really give you an indication of which one the designers think is the best icon to remove. I personally go towards Attainted's the best one, but I think that's the way I play Martell, where I just try to win the intrigue challenge, destroy your hand.
Yeah. So considering them in a vacuum, like on their own, the power one is the best one, I'd say.
That's the thing, because that helps you win the game.
Exactly.
This one, though, I think has the most potential to completely neuter a character. So what I mean by that is you've got characters like the Mountain, Jamie, Drogo, Balon, Fish Whiskers, lots of other characters who, without that military icon, don't really do anything. I mean, Jamie and the Mountain are the big two.
Yep.
And this is basically this is effectively a one. I mean, you could say well, this is basically almost like a one cost. Well, not even a one cost milk in the poppy, because against those guys, it's better than milk because they can't even do anything except give you dominance.
Yeah, against stuff like Gregor, for example, it's better. I think it's probably the least useful one overall out of the three, because it's very good for very specific cases.
Yeah, and I'm inclined to agree. Obviously, there's other things you could do with it. For instance, if you're playing against Stark, they put ice. Whoever put the ice on, just whack this on that. Yep. Ice is now, and obviously they can't then play another ice unless they confiscate their own ice.
Someone actually did that yesterday in a melee game we were playing.
Really?
Because it was on Rob, and Rob was being knelt all the time by I don't remember what, by even-handed justice, I think. So yeah, they discarded it and ended up playing another one on someone else in a weird way.
But I'm inclined to agree. I think if you look at it in a vacuum and you kind of go, right, if you just any Martell deck, what's the best one going to be? As in, you don't. If you're just kind of going, I'm just going to throw 2 into any build.
Yeah.
I think the power one is the best.
Definitely the power one. Yeah.
I say the way I build my Martell deck, I just go for intrigue and hand destruction. So for me, and I've got 3 tiers of this, of course, and obviously now I've got Tyrene because So against for me personally, I think a Tainted is the best, but I think that's more because the guys I play against than the Bournemouth meta than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I know I can win the intrigue. I know they haven't adjusted to my Martell deck that just destroys their hand. Maybe when they do, I then change, but I'm not convinced Imprisoned is that worthwhile. Really, maybe as a one-off. If you're going to take 4 attacks,
if you're trying to call the meta and expecting a lot of Lannister, for example, or a lot of Greyjoy, then it can be worth throwing in. But as you said, like the Intrigue one combos so well with Tears and Tyene, and the Power one is just key to slowing the game down, which is what Martell need. Slow it down until they get all their pieces in play, and then they can win.
But I think it still is definitely a solid card. It's not.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with any of them.
No. And if you take this one, it's not as if you're going to lose the game. Because
you're not putting a bad card in your deck.
I guess I've also the intrigue one, I'll say, and then take Game of Thrones, so that they basically have a phrase where they can't win any challenges.
It's just the most situational of the 3.
Yeah. Because again, you could come across another Martell deck, at which point it isn't really that worthwhile.
No.
Depending on the build. So, should we hit the neutrals?
Yeah, so let's go for probably the worst card in the pack. Do you reckon?
No, well, I think these are the 2 worst cards in the pack, but let's hit the two neutrals.
Alright, so we've got Maester's Chain. So this is a 1-cost neutral attachment. It's got the item trait. It can be attached to a Maester character only, and it has the dominance action. Nil Maester's Chain, choose a condition attachment, and discard it from play.
So, there's 2 problems I have with this. Firstly, it has to go on a Maester character.
Yep.
So, you are building your deck. Now, obviously, if that was at the Battle of the Trident goes Maester's way, then we put Maester agenda could become a thing, at which point we may see lots of Maesters. The other problem I have with this is it's a dominance action. So, let's say this is out and my character gets milked, as an example of a condition, or gets or gets a tainted or whatever. That character's then got to survive till the dominance phase to be able to get rid of the condition.
Yep.
So
it's a very conditional card to get rid of condition attachments, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you've basically got 3 different things. As you said, like, it's just way too specific. Like, only being on a Maester, waiting until dominance, only discarding 1 type of attachment.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I can see it because you got the Baratheon Maester who just does this anyway, so he doesn't want this.
Well, you kneel the chain, not the maester, right? So if you put it on Maester Krasen, he's getting rid of 2 conditions a turn.
I guess.
But then, when do you ever need to get rid of 2 conditions a turn?
You're playing a really condition-heavy Martel deck?
Yeah, I guess. All of the icon removal ones.
Yeah, you've got 2 milks.
Banner of the Wolf to have ward as well.
Yeah, and it's the fact that you got to find the Maester first. So let's say obviously you got the serve one where the plot.
Yeah, here to serve.
So, but so if you're taking here to serve, I guess you might as well include this. But you've then also got to find this. And generally speaking, if you're taking the building orders, generally taking that because there's better things. You're not taking that to find Maester's Chain.
No. It's way too specific. You're not going to run multiple copies of it. And
you are, you're wasting your slots. Especially
exactly, you're wasting your slots. And you run probably, 1 copy of your in-house Maester?
Yeah.
In each deck? Like, I guess you might run 2 of Crescent and 2 of Caliot, but the rest are all one-offs. And Tyrell don't even run their own, so...
I guess this makes Martel got their Maester that's not unique?
Yeah. And there's also the neutral intrigue power icon one as well.
I guess that you really got to love Maesters.
Yeah.
Really got to love Maesters to make this worthwhile. Yeah. Maybe I'm sure in the future, if you got a Maesters deck as you reckon, I reckon it's probably going to end up winning the Battle of the Trident.
Yeah, I think it will probably end up winning just because of the first edition players love their Maesters.
So if you've got the Maesters deck, then yeah, whack two of these in probably.
I guess.
Otherwise, yeah. I hope they get some better ones.
I mean, I'm not sure it's even that good. Still, if you're playing a Maester deck, like I said, how many people are running loads of conditions?
I guess one of the things is obviously the other one's milk, but milk tends to be a metacal and kind of comes in and disappears and comes back in again.
Yeah.
So it's not even really worth it.
I'd rather run Rattleshirt's Raiders in this card.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. Or the series.
Well, just preparing it for a neutral card, right? Rattleshirt's Raiders can go in any deck.
Yeah.
And it gives you a body that's immune to First Snow. It's immune to Ward. It's got no attachments itself.
Yeah.
And it can discard any type of attachment.
Yeah. I think that sums it up well. Or I'd rather take weapons at the door.
Yeah. Well, even confiscation, right?
Confiscation, yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing. You're taking here to serve to get the maester to put this on it. You might as well just confiscate it.
I think the saddest bit about this card, though, is the fact that it's called a generic Maester's Chain. It doesn't have the chain keyword, which means we're not getting all the different types of chains as attachments like we did in First Ed, because they were fun. It used to be like Steel Link, Iron Link, Brass Link, like all the different ones. And they all had different abilities, and they were all very similar to this. You put on a Maester and you kneel it to trigger something.
It might be something we see in the future, I guess. But
but the way they just called it Maester's Chain, and it's just an item, feels like they're not going to do that, which is making the First Ed player and me a little bit sad, because they were fun, janky decks.
I can imagine it might be something where they don't want to do it initially, but at some point in the design space, I guess they might.
Yeah, a few years' time, hopefully.
Okay then, so from one bad card to another, we have a 1-cost location. It's unique. It's called Street of Silk. It's got the King's Landing trait. Reaction: after you win a challenge, you control a lord or lady. Character: kneel your faction card to search the top 5 cards of your deck for a ally or companion card, reveal it and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. Now, I have just thought of one deck that might like this.
Is it the one that's running 1 copy of Old Bear's Crew?
No. It's the one which is the Lannister Leaping Lions, just so you can play, the one where you look at the bottom 5 cards. And then you've got a really easy way of shuffling your deck again. A really easy way of shuffling your deck. They've got a lot of lords and ladies. That is literally the only the only thing I could think of, because even the top 5 cards makes this crap.
Yeah, I find it very odd that this one is top 5, whereas the rest of the streets are being top 10.
Yeah.
Just in pure terms of having a nice design, I would have preferred it to be top 10. Just so it looks nice on the card. It seems odd to have top 5. There's no other effects that search 5 cards. Even there's always weird events that search for 4 cards as well, for example. So the 5 just annoys me.
And the problem is that, like, for instance, the whole Lord or Lady makes us probably actually just winning a challenge probably makes us the easiest to pull off.
Yeah.
That's just the top 5. And I say, unless you're doing Leaping Lions and you need to shuffle your deck repeatedly so you can get different 5 cards at the bottom, but then that's only one event for 3 times. Yeah. So I know that is why some people play Streets of Sisters to partly to find their events and partly
Shadow Black's the event one.
Yeah. And partly just to shuffle the deck again so you can see another 5 cards. I just don't really see this. I mean, what allies and companions are you looking for?
So it's possibly okay in Targ because they've got quite a few allies and companions. The Handmaidens, Sajora.
But they're lacking lords and ladies. They've only got 3.
Yeah, but they're likely to be in play, right? I mean, how often do you play a Targ deck where there's not at least one of, Danny or Drogo or someone in the game?
Yeah.
So it's probably not too hard to trigger. It's just, again, it's a faction card, Neil. There's a lot of them now.
Yeah.
You're probably playing Shadow Black instead, and you're probably now running Funeral Pyre.
Yeah, so that's 2 Nils.
So, yeah, unlikely to play it. I think there was an article on CardGameDB the other day. Someone worked out the math on this card and how many allies and companions you actually needed for it to be reliable. I think it was 14.
The other issue with this as well is because they're in top five cards. Well, 40% of this card you'd be drawing next turn anyway. And I know you get the whole, well, at least you know what the card is. So, if it is, let's say, Sirio, who's probably one of the better cards to be getting off the top of this.
Yeah, Sirio is prime target.
And okay, I now need 5 gold. Well, the odds are, by the time this is out, you could probably afford a 5 gold character, even if you draw into it. It's not going to take you that much by surprise. And there's still a 40% chance of you getting him anyway.
Yeah.
If this card would have even seen him.
It's just more draw at the end of the day, though. Any draw is good if you manage to grab something.
Yeah, I just don't think this is worth the slot.
All of the 1-cost reducers are allies.
Yeah, do you really digging for your deck to find them?
No, but again, it's just draw, isn't it? So if you're drawing that and then shuffling your deck, you're going to be drawing something better instead of that 1 card.
Yeah, no, I get. Yeah, that's a fair point. And then obviously you play it, and then
you always need claim. So it's not bad. It's just
I just think I'd rather have pretty much any of the other ones.
Yeah, I think Shadow Black is probably the best out of all of them.
Yeah,
you've got Street of the Sisters for melee, because that's where the power really matters.
Yeah.
I'd say the Street of Steel is probably worse than this, to be honest. Because you search for an item or weapon attachment, and how many of those do you run in the deck?
I guess the problem with that one is where you go actually, like for instance, Night's Watch would quite like that one because they're running a lot of weapon attachments. But then Night's Watch is probably also the house least likely to
win a challenge.
Yeah. So yeah,
So I'd say this is the second worst out of the 4.
I think they're probably about equal. They're probably just about as bad as each other.
Well, ally and companion will probably be a very, very common trait going forward.
I guess it depends how much attachments become a bigger thing in second edition than in first. If we end up going down any more attachment hate, then probably they're going to be...
I think they need a bit more, and some good attachment hate, not Maester's Chain.
And I guess it still would be good if it was just get an attachment, because it's get a weapon attachment. That probably does. Yeah, no, you're probably right. This probably is slightly better than that. I still not a card I think I'd be running in the deck anytime soon.
No, I wouldn't be running it right now, but in the future, potentially.
When the ally and companion agenda comes out,
I need to bring out the Fool agenda first.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame the two neutrals are a bit meh, but oh well.
Yeah, we've got 2 neutral plots to come as well. So
Yes, and I believe you're the plot you've been looking forward to.
yeah, first one is one of my favourite cards from First Ed. Been looking forward to it coming back. We've got Nightmares a few chapter packs ago, and now we've got Forgotten Plans. So this is a neutral plot with the scheme trait. It's 4 gold, 2 initiative, 1 claim, and 6 reserve. So pretty average stats. It's a plot deck limit of 1. And its text box is, while it is not the plot phase, treat the text box on each revealed non-scheme plot card as if it were blank, except for trait. So quite a mouthful. But basically it blocks any plot that has a passive effect throughout the round, as long as it's not a scheme.
And so the one that needs to be pointed out here, in case it isn't clear, is First Snow.
Yeah, it's the biggie.
First Snow, and that one called First Snow. There's I think it's the Wardens of the Northwest, isn't it?
Wardens of the North, yeah, it can blank that.
No, so there's a new show. They did a bit of a list of the important ones this lots. And yeah, there's some big ones. So, for instance, Noble Cause blocks that one. Not probably the best one. A plot I'm looking forward to the next cycle. This is really going to hurt. Is it? Oh, it's not. Is it the summer one, which is X gold?
Yeah.
And the gold is 2 more than your opponent's plot, unless it's this, at which point then it's 0.
0 gold.
So that's a bit of a pain.
Yeah, it makes it like a naval superiority.
Yeah. So there, there's not that many schemes, I want to say, at the moment.
No. Let me have a quick look. The Lannister loyal plot is a scheme. As is the Martell one, I think.
I know Power Behind the Throne's a scheme, but when do you ever see that?
Yeah. So the funny thing with that is, because when revealed, you put the token on it. So that would still happen. It's just the token wouldn't do anything, because the rest of the text box.
But it's a scheme, so it would work.
Oh yeah, it's a scheme. Yeah. If it wasn't a scheme,
yeah,
because the token gets played in the when revealed, you still wouldn't be able to play it. Yeah. Just weird. But yeah, the Lannister plot is definitely a scheme. I think the Martell one is. Sneak attack, oddly, is a scheme, which is for the best. Because if you manage to get your opponent's sneak attack, that would be quite funny, because then they can then do 3 challenges.
With claim 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that would be a massive fail on your part if you did Forgotten Plans on that. But thankfully it's a scheme. So I think the only plot really where it's downside for you at the moment is a very, very unlikely plot to see play, which is Marching Orders. Which is the 9 gold plot in the core set, which says you can only play characters.
Yes, but...
So if you manage to get them to blank that with Forgotten Plans, then your opponent would be very happy, because then they can play whatever they like for their 9 gold.
So just quickly looking for this, because there's currently 51 plots, obviously including Forgotten Plans, which it doesn't do anything to.
51? Is that really?
Yeah, that's what Card Game DB is telling me. So, Clash of Kings, yep, bugger that one. Feast of Crows, that would be a big one. Doesn't stop Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Stop Noble, stop Songs of the Summer, stop Storm of Swords. Wouldn't stop Time of Wolves.
Yeah, well, any when revealed effect, it won't stop.
Yeah. Tourney of the King, that'd be a big one to get onto. Would stop Blood of the Dragon, but wouldn't stop the initial killing everyone. It'd only stop the ongoing effect.
Yeah, so it would be Blood of the Dragon would be active during the plot phase in the round it's revealed, and briefly in the next plot phase before you flip a new plot.
Wouldn't stop building orders or calling the banners. Stop Calm over Westeros. Ooh.
No, Calm over Westeros is when revealed.
Yeah, but then the text box becomes blank.
But it creates a lasting effect, though, I think.
What does it say?
Check the card. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work in Calm.
Until a new plot was revealed, reduce the claim of reduced by
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
until new plots revealed. It creates a lasting effect on the game.
Okay. Doesn't stop close call, doesn't stop confiscation, doesn't stop counting coppers, doesn't stop falling from favour. So that's the first 20 on this page, and it's working against most of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much going to work against every non-when revealed plot. It's just
The,
very few
the,
edge cases that have the scheme trait.
the big one that's going to stop is Rise of the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's still going to be a 2 claim plot, but that 2 gold is only just about worthwhile because of the 2 power for every unopposed.
Yep. It's quite a nice one to stop.
It's pretty much works against most of the plots going by this. So again, it seems like a slightly more reshored naval, because navals only works against. There's a lot more plots naval doesn't work against.
Yeah, well, naval was obviously specifically targeting their gold and their ball position, so it's when you've got the upper hand generally. You're trying to limit what they can do this round. Whereas Forgotten Plans, it's more of a skill cap card. It's got to time it at the exact right moment to have a really big impact. Whereas naval can probably hit half the plots in their plot deck. Forgotten Plans will probably only make a massive impact on 1 or 2 plots in their plot deck. Because even if it blanks no more cores, right, they're losing 2 gold. That's it. It's not giving them a massive impact.
But if you do that first turn and they needed that reduction.
Yeah, but if that's what you're playing it for, because you just run naval at that point. Like, you're not going to be playing Forgotten Plans on the first turn, hoping for blank.
I get what you're saying about that, but at least this one then it gives you the option of doing that, or gives you the option of saving it for later.
Yeah.
Something else. I guess. Of course, the big one means you could run a weenie deck again.
Yes, if you can manage to time it the first snow.
Yeah. So this probably seems like one that Night's Watch needs to be running.
Yeah, I think Night's Watch like it anyway. They'll probably run this and fortify position.
Yeah. So it seems like the 6 reserve. That's always something you want to see.
Yeah, it's just average stats all round, really.
Yeah. So the last one we got here is the last plot, Close Call. It's summer. It's 5 gold, 0 initiative, 1 claim. When revealed, move a character from the dead pile to your discard pile. And then if there's no winter plot in play, draw 1 card. It's good.
Yeah. It's just a definition of an alright card, right? It's not nothing special.
This is
just good.
If you're taking a Voltron deck, you probably want this.
Yep. Make sure they can't die. If you're playing a janky Funeral Pyre deck with Ceres, then you want this. It's going to be useful when the summer agenda's out next cycle, because right now we've got very, very few summer plots in comparison to winter. There's loads of winter, and before this card, there was 2 summer plots?
No, there's 3 summer plots now.
Yeah, now there's 3, but there was Calm and Song of Summer before, was that it?
With this, you've got this one makes it 4, I believe.
What's the one I'm forgetting?
Because you've got Song of the Summer
and Calm over Westeros.
Tonya of the King.
Ah, yes. Yeah, because I haven't seen it in ages because of First Snow.
Yeah.
So we've got four summer plot cards, which means you can't really make a summer plot deck yet.
Yeah, you can have 5 of them. That can be most of your most of your deck. So it's just it's good. It's all right if you can make a deck around it. I think you'll probably get a few more summer plots, and you might not be using this, but you definitely, when that summer agenda comes out, you're probably going to be having at least one of these in your deck.
Yeah, it's just a nice backup card, isn't it, to have? Just in case everything goes wrong and you lose your main character in your deck.
Yeah. And, as you say, just to get him back in. I like it. I can't think of any decks I'm immediately going to throw it into.
No, I don't think it fits straight away into most decks. You've got to play some jank or be playing a Voltron build, which there aren't really mini you can do right now, other than Danny, I guess.
Yes. Pretty much is, Danny.
But you've got Fire and Blood in that case, which is exactly the same, really, for Danny. You shuffle Weapon Your Dead into your deck, right? So
Yeah, basically.
a bit better even.
I'd say Fire and Blood's better because if you don't need it on Danny, one of your hatchlings is dead.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice. But it is one of those cards where anyone who's worried about when Val eventually rejoins.
Yeah.
Just run 2 of these then, if you're really that worried about Valor.
Yeah, because Valor will definitely be 1 per plot deck.
So, you just go, oh, you Valor'd, okay, I'll play this, put that guy back in, then next time I play
Play my second copy, yeah.
It can't be navaled because it's summer. 5 gold's pretty good, but you are giving up initiative to do it.
Yeah.
I do like to draw a card as well, so you are...
Yeah, just a little extra is nice.
Yeah. That probably actually makes it, for me, probably a better plot, because then you're getting 3 cards that turn with the 5 gold. It's quite useful later on.
Yeah.
And then looking from other... Oh, no, because I say Stark probably don't. I was about to say Stark... How's like Stark and Greyjoy probably want this, because it's extra card draw. They're probably the 2 other houses that are going to go down the winter route.
Yeah. So I think looking at... If you can guarantee that you'll draw a card bit, and you compare it to Ranger's Cash, which is the 3 gold, and then at taxation you choose to either gain an extra 3 gold next round or an extra 2 cards.
Yeah.
So this is basically giving you half the benefits of both of those. Yeah?
Yeah.
2 extra gold compared to it. And you get a card. Rather than choosing 3 gold and 2 cards, you're getting...
And you're getting counter back.
So it's comparable to that, I think. I think it's probably better right now than that card.
I can tell you one time, one game I really wish I had this, where the heads and spiked in the first turn and had 3 copies of Balon in my hand. This is immediately the card that I wish I could have played next turn to then go, right, Balon's gone to the discard pile, here's my Duke Balon.
Yeah.
I think it's just... Yeah, it doesn't blow you out the water, but it's not bad. It's good. Okay.
All right. So that was the whole pack. So what do you reckon are the top card and the worst card?
Well, the top card is a toss-up. I think I'm going to go with Tyrene for the top card because I play Martel. And... Tears on Demand is pretty good.
Yeah.
She has 6 costs, but if you tears 3 characters in the course of a game, even 2 characters, she's made them points back, or gold back.
Oh yeah, she'll soon pay her money off. She's tears Balon, boom, money payback.
Tears Balon, yeah. Thanks for turning up.
Yeah.
Worst card. Street of Silk, maybe.
Okay.
Let's go Mace's Chain.
That's what I would have said.
I think, yeah. Oh, fine. I'll go Street of Silk then, just be different. It's a toss-up. It really is. It's been weird to actually have a pack where pretty much every house has got 2 cards that are either good or, in a certain build, they'd be good. And then you've got...
it's a solid pack. I mean, it's every card other than the neutrals is reasonable for each house, so...
Yeah, and there's at least a build they're useful in.
Yeah.
So, Old Bird's Raven, you're not just going to whack in your deck. If you've got 3 copies of Mormont in your deck, you probably want it. For you then, your the best card?
Yes, I think it's a clash between Ward and Tyene for the top 2, but as you've said, Tyene. I'll go for Ward. Those 2 cards are definitely going to impact the meta a lot in the next month or so until we get hopefully the second cycle starting. But I think probably Tyene will have the greater impact in the long run. I think people will just start running less 4 costers per ward and more attachment control just in case.
I'm loving this game where people only run 5 cost characters.
Yeah. It's great for Ariane. Like Martel just don't really care about ward at all.
No, because they've
got lots of 5 costers and probably one or two four-costers that have no attachments anyway.
Yeah, the two, Palace Guard and the Knight.
Yeah, so they're quite happy for it. I think again Targa don't really mind Ward either because all the dragons are no attachments.
Yeah,
it's just Jojo really that gets hit.
Well, no, you could still what's it, Sajura?
Yeah, but there's a 2-cost character.
Yeah,
they're spending 4 to get rid of it.
So I think it hurts my Tyrell the worst, or because they can steal Marjorie, and they need her for a lot of their combos.
I think it hurts a lot in the Stark mirror match as well. Because they have a lot of unique characters now.
Yeah, they're mostly running uniques.
There's a lot of things you could steal.
And obviously it hurts Theon. Doesn't really hurt Greyjoy outside of it, or I suppose newly made Lord. But then you're not getting...
Yeah, if they steal newly made Lord, then I won't really care. Newly made Lord's done his ability by that point.
Exactly. So it only really hurts Theon, so maybe Theon becomes a 2-of rather than a 3-of, if you are running him still as a 3-of.
Mm-hmm.
Really, at this point, there's so many good characters for Greyjoy, he probably should be going down to 2-of.
Yeah.
That's obviously gets Catelyn. I mean, Lannister with Cersei, that's a big one.
Yeah, Cersei, Pycelle, the Hounds, just to keep him as a prisoner.
Yeah. Just don't use them.
Yeah.
The other one you could do, I thought about this now, is against Brower. You steal Crescent.
Yeah.
Bring him over, and then use him to get rid of all the milks they put on you.
You steal him, and then you give him a Maester's Chain. Which you can actually do, right?
Yeah, I can give your character.
Because Maester's Chain says Maester character only. It doesn't say character that you own. So, if you don't have any Maesters, but they do,
then you ward their Maester.
No, you don't even need ward. You can just play Maester's Chain on their Maester. And then during dominance, kneel the chain. Because the chain is your card, but the Maester isn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't require you to go on your Maester. It doesn't say your character only, or opponent's character only. It just says Maester character. So there's the tech. Put Maester's Chain on all your opponent's Maesters.
Right. This game is weird. On the whole, though, obviously, what do you think of the cycle as a whole? Because we're basically at the point now where we've doubled the number of cards in each house, almost. No, haven't quite, have we?
Not quite. 50% more. Because what was there, about 200 odd in the core?
Yeah.
Another 120 has been added now.
And then you've had the start
box, yeah. So 120 on the cycle. Is it 50 in the start box? So 170. We're on, 400, 500 cards. So, fair amount of cards, but because you're dividing it by effectively 9, right? The 8 factions and the neutrals.
Yeah.
Still not that much for each, but we're starting to get some variety in deck builds, which is good.
I think the next cycle is going to be probably about variety.
Yeah.
See, and I'm quite looking forward to the next cycle. I want to see where things are going. Obviously, some of the cards being spoiled are quite interesting.
The only thing I'm worried about is they're probably trying to fit too many different themes in the next cycle, from the looks of it. Because we've got all the kings, all that support. We've got summer and winter and all that support. And then they're going to do, it's still based on book 2, so you're going to add whatever each house has in book 2. So we're going to get a lot more Relore cards for Baratheon, for example.
And the one of the things that worries me, and this is probably, it's not going to be builds, but the 2 kings we've seen so far seem worse than the current versions of themselves.
I wouldn't say worse.
But with the way the builds are, like Rob, that's his ability with the way Stark at the moment is just stupidly good. You're stupid not to take him.
Yeah. They're just more specific cases. It's like comparing the 2 Caitlins. Yeah,
and as I've a conclusion now, and if the new Caitlyn wasn't called Caitlyn, she'd be really good.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, because she competes with the stuff the other Caitlyn does,
which means 9 out of 10 you have the old Caitlyn, and when you're running a sacrifice build, you have the other one. It's going to be the same with the kings, right?
Yeah.
They're going to go in specific decks rather than be the general version of that character. Like the Balon that we're going to get will be for a very specific Greyjoy build rather than the generically good Balon that we currently have.
I'm assuming it'd be for a build that's not designed to go unopposed.
I assume so, yeah.
At the same time, because this whole cycle, they're probably one of the house that's kind of kept the theme of itself going the most for this whole cycle. I said.
Yeah, like a lot of people say, Greyjoy are one of the sort of most noob friendly decks that plays because they don't really have more than one theme. So deck building is quite easy for them. Playing with them is quite easy. It's just get unopposed, get power.
Yeah, it's get unopposed, and the Drowned God trait kind of still works with that.
Yeah.
So it's not as if Drowned God's a separate trait, doesn't work when opposed, they both work together. So, yeah. I guess Martell's kind of been the same, it's just they're annoying. That theme has stayed the same for the whole cycle.
Lose to win, Icon control. That's
what
we've got for Martell.
Basically, you're going to think you're winning. Actually. About turn 6, you've lost, but you don't know it yet. Yeah, I'm interested in where it goes. I mean, obviously, I'm a lot new at the game than yourself, and I'm not used to having a massive card pool and to work with this. And it's nice getting that progression, and it is going at some rates because there's 1 or 2 chapter packs I hardly got to play with before I bought the new one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sorry for Tyrell mostly because they had sort of 2 weeks where they were good.
Yeah, they had that period, and they dominated the store championships for those 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I don't think they won a lot, but they were very represented.
They were in the cut. They were quite often cuts, and you were seeing them up there, and they were giving people headaches.
And then First Night.
Yeah, First Night came out and went, and as a conversation we've had today on the Facebook group is their 5-cost characters aren't great, except for Knight of Flowers, and their 7-cost characters not great.
Yeah, what they really need is a good, expensive lady character. Because right now we've only got 2 in-house ladies, so it's no good having all these lady synergies. Like the two big characters they've got this cycle, the 2 knights, the twins, are directly themed around ladies. But there is one lady that sees regular play in Tyrell.
And the issue is, obviously, I'm assuming I'm seeing new Marjorie some point soonish. That doesn't really help the situation.
Yeah, we need some other ladies, not Marjorie.
Yeah. So I think, and I assume this cycle they're going to get Renly, I imagine?
Yeah, they've already been spoiled, I think. They haven't spoiled the card, but they've said that Renly will be Tyrell.
Right, okay. So you got Renly there, obviously again that's not really helping, because he's...
Yeah, I assume he'll be a knight booster.
Yeah.
So they probably get some of the Rainbow Guard.
Oh, so you have another Knight of Flowers, maybe?
I don't know if they do another Knight of Flowers, but they might just do the other members like Guard, Mulligan, and all those sort of people, and Brienne.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also feel really sorry for Night's Watch, because they were just they weren't dominating, but they were kind of becoming a usable faction, a strong-ish faction, then Snow killed them.
Yeah, I think it's slightly sad that the 2 new factions to the game are definitely the weakest 2 after roughly a year of the game.
I mean, you still see Tyrell as bannered.
Yeah, they're a great banner, but they're not a great main.
Night's Watch you still see as bannering as well, because for some reason the wall's not loyal. Not sure I get that one myself, but it's not like you move the wall, It's like the idea of, we're going to go and help the Lannisters this week. Okay, pick up the wall, bring it with us. But otherwise, obviously we had that initial thing where Lannister seemed to be really dominating, but I think they've come back a little bit now. Or at least the other houses are caught up a bit.
I think people just got bored of Lannister.
I think people do get bored of Lannister. I do think that's the big thing. And you are still seeing them quite often as a banner faction. But I do think most of the other kind of 5 houses all kind of got tech to kind of close the gap. And although it sounds daft, Lannister have a lot of really good cards. But then it's quite hard to make a deck where you get all the really good cards in.
Just throw everything in.
It's the problem Stark had an issue when the box came out.
Yeah, people didn't know what to do. Yeah.
No. And you had especially version 2 players who'd only play version 2, all of a sudden had this double the number of cards they could use and couldn't make it work initially. You know, I was expecting when that set initially came out, almost every tournament would be Stark heavy, and it took a while for Stark to really start appearing in numbers again.
Yeah, it's only the last couple of weeks, I think, that's been
Yeah.
doing well since people realised that Winterfell was a really good card in the current meta. It just stops so much stuff.
It's that string 4 puts people off, actually.
Yeah, it's so worth it.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting where we go next. And I think you're right. I think some of the cards in the next cycle you might suffer from. It's a new theme. It's going to take a lot.
I think that might be the main issue next cycle. Just too much spreading of new ideas.
Yeah. But then maybe by the end of the cycle, then the ideas might just be formed enough to be usable.
Hopefully. Just hope we get some more agendas. I know we're getting summer and winter ones, but it'd be nice to get another one in the second cycle. In the last pack, for example. Because agendas are the cards that change the meta the most.
Then, being newish, seeing the difference First Snow made was just bonkers. But at the same time, you didn't need. I remember watching one tournament where neither player had Wildfire.
Yeah.
And the number of cards out was just stupid. Military challenge was pointless. You know, you spend all this effort and go, cool. You've put all this in. You've killed a reducer.
Yeah, I guess the point in the game where you just stop doing military.
Yeah.
Switch over to focusing on power.
And even intrigue is a bit pointless because, cool, you destroyed my hand. I've still got 10 characters out.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah. No, it's been, well, thanks for you coming on, Ryan.
Yeah, cheers for having me.
So I'll probably grab you when the next pack comes out, whenever that is.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be 2 months maybe. We'll probably have a bit of a longer break. Rather than a month break, we'll have probably 2 months.
I think it's probably go to month, let everyone play the whole cycle and then destroy the meta again and rebuild. Cool. Okay, well, thank you.
All right, cheers.